right? So please don't worry in case if this is your first class, okay? Please don't worry, guys. Just go through those classes so you'll get an idea on this, okay? Fine, chalo. Let's share my screen. Let me start, okay? Let me start the session. Any questions, any doubts? I know some of you are having some issues, okay? Like connecting server remotely. Like I know like some of you people already pinged me for remote issues and all. So again, let me tell you these 3 points, okay? How RDP will work, okay? How RDP will work. For RDP means connecting to the server remotely, remote desktop protocol or remote desktop connection, okay? So here you have to remember three things. You should have internet first of all, okay? If you want to connect to the server remotely, you should have internet. Without internet you cannot connect to the server remotely. Second thing, your desktop operating system, desktop OS version should be Windows 10 Pro, okay? Those who are having Windows 10 Home, they cannot use RDP feature, okay? From where we can check the desktop operating system version, guys? Any command we have?
MS Info 32 in that also.
Using MS Info 32. If you just open run and if you type MS Info 32, on top you can see, okay, Microsoft Windows 10 Pro. Only for 10 Pro you can connect to the server remotely. If you are having 10 Home, the RDP feature is not there. But again, if RDP feature is not working, it's not a roadblock for you guys, okay? RDP just to get a hands-on experience how we will connect to the servers in the organization. If you are unable to use RDP feature, nothing will happen, okay? Simply log into the server directly, okay? You can connect to the server in two ways. One is RDP, through RDP. Second one is the direct connection. Directly log into the machine and whatever you want to practice, you can practice. Only thing is you will get very small screen, okay? You will get a small kind of like this much screen only, you will get it like this notepad. Only this much window only you will get it if you are connecting to the server directly. If you are connecting to the server remotely, then you will get a complete full screen. That is the only difference. And second thing is you can copy paste the things from your local laptop to the Windows server. Copy, right click, paste. That will work if you connect to the server remotely. If you connect to the server directly, that right click copy paste won't work, okay? You cannot copy paste from your local laptop to the server, okay? Third thing, what you have to do, guys, you have to enable the remote settings, okay? Remote settings, okay? So first of all, and one more thing I want to tell you guys here, if something goes wrong, your internet is down, okay, you cannot connect to the server remotely. I told you, right? You should have internet. Your laptop should be connected to the internet and your server also should be connected to the internet. If something goes wrong, say for example now you're practicing in your room, okay? So again you went to your friend's home, okay? So there the network will be changed, right? Their network will be changed, right? Again you have, so IP address also will be changed. Again you have to check. Say for example you are doing you are practicing with your Wi-Fi internet, your power gone. So now what you did is like you started your mobile hotspot, then you are practicing with your mobile hotspot and all. So in that case also IP address will be changed, server IP address will be changed when you change your network. So these precautions you have to take. Sir, yesterday till yesterday I'm able to connect, now I am unable to connect means might be your internet is changed or might be your IP address is changed. In that case, while practicing, if power gone and if internet is down, what you have to do, what is the troubleshooting step? Restart the server. If you restart the server, it will take the new IP address, check the new IP address and use the same new IP address to connect to the server remotely. These are the challenges with the RDP, guys. Is it clear, everyone? And how many of you completed building the servers and all? How many of you completed building servers, connecting to the server remotely? I guess 3 or 4 people, I guess. Right? Please raise your hands. How many of you created server and connected to the server remotely? Raise your hands. There is an option called raise hand option. Just click on that raise hand. Mahidhar, Sandeep, Krista, very good. Prudvi, good. Okay, 4 people. I guess Gayatri also completed, right? Okay, fine. So, okay, guys. So let's and Ravikiran, good. Imtiaz, good. Gayatri, good. Okay, fine. Right, so let's start the server. So now I'm going to start my server, guys. This is my batch 48 server. And one more thing, guys. So due to some space issues, actually I have to share Windows 2022 operating system with you, but it's around 5 GB. I don't have any cloud account with 5 GB free space. Okay, I have to create one Gmail account with batch 48, and then I'll upload that operating system, that Windows 2020 operating system. Till now I shared you Windows 2012. Process is same, Windows 2012 or Windows 2022, the process is same, everything is same. Okay, so you can practice with that Windows 2012 image also, no issues. Remaining everything is same, guys. Okay, so and one more thing, I have already shared the documents, notes and all with you. So in case if you don't see in the inbox, please check in the spam folder or trash folder. Okay, I use it to send to multiple people at a time, right? So it will treat as a spam. So try to check in the spam folder or trash folder. Okay, I already last week itself I shared the notes and software links. If you still not getting, means just check in the spam or trash. Okay, okay, if you are not getting, just let me know, I'm going to share you again. Okay, fine. So I just started this
Now you are sharing our email ID, right?
yes, email id to your
Okay, sir.
Gmail id. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So I just started the VM. So once the VM is ready, we'll connect to the server remotely, then we'll start installing SQL Server today. So till last week we just designed our machine. Okay, so to install SQL Server we need a Windows machine, right? Windows server, and we need a .NET framework. All these things we have already discussed in the last class. So what are the prerequisites, especially for installing SQL Server hardware and software components? So you should have enough RAM, minimum 2 GB RAM, enough storage, minimum 4 GB storage, .NET framework, CPU cores, one CPU core. Okay, minimum one CPU core, minimum one CPU core. And software components means, software requirements means you should have .NET framework installed in that machine, and you should have SQL Server software. You should have that SSMS also, Management Studio, that we'll discuss today. Okay. So I just changed my network, and one more thing, just want to inform you guys, I came to my hometown. So connected through mobile hotspot, there is no internet here. So connected through mobile hotspot. If you feel that there is a breaking in my voice, just stop me and ask me. I'm going to correct, and I'm going to like repeat the sentence again. Okay. Just stop me, guys. If you are unable to hear me properly, just stop me. Okay. I'm going to repeat the sentence again. Fine. If you don't have questions, please be in mute. Chalo, thank you. So let me connect to the server. So how to connect to the server directly? Yesterday someone asked, sir, what is the shortcut to connect to the server? What is the shortcut, guys? I want to connect to the server. I want
Windows
to log in.
or sir.
I want to log into this machine.
MS
Windows
clear.
I want to connect to this server. I want to log into this machine. What is the keyboard shortcut?
Control delete.
Someone said Windows R and someone said some other shortcut. What is those?
Control delete.
Right control delete.
Yes, okay. Right control plus delete is one shortcut, or else input keyboard insert control alt delete is another shortcut. Don't use control alt delete. It will show you control alt delete, but don't press control alt delete from your keyboard. Okay, what you have to do from your keyboard, if you're unlocking the server, means use right control. Two control keys you will have on your keyboard. One is on left side, second one is on right side. Use right control plus delete button, right? You will get a login screen. So give the password. While installing the operating system, we gave one password, right? So that password you have to give here, and check the IP address. Okay, so generally if you are keep on connecting to the same internet, your internet won't be changed, so your IP address also won't be changed. If you change your internet, your IP address will be changed. So I have to check the new IP address, then I have to use this new IP address to connect to the server. Okay, so now I am checking the new IP address of the server, guys. Right, so what is the command to check the IP address?
ipconfig.
Okay, open run in the server, okay, and don't use Windows R. You can still use Windows R shortcut. If you use Windows R, you will get your local laptop run and you will type ipconfig and you can see IP address your local laptop. So that is not a good way. See here, just click yes here. It just detected a new network. So just click yes here. In case if you are getting this kind of pop-ups, just click yes. Now check the IP address of this machine. Okay, ipconfig. Right, now you can see, right, what is the IP address. You have to use always IPv4 address only, 192.168.224.154. so what I did is, like, I just pin this remote desktop. How to pin it? Select this your local laptop Windows button. You can see remote desktop or type remote desktop, you will get it. Okay, just type remote desktop. So you will get that option, that tool. You can see here, right click. Okay, you can set it to pin to taskbar. Okay, right click, pin to taskbar. You can see here, right click, pin to start bar or pin to your taskbar and all. You can use this option, so automatically this will be pinned to your taskbar. Okay, fine. What is the IP address here? What IP address we have to use here? This IP address, 192 dot. Guys, in the organization, IP address won't be changed, don't worry. Okay, in the organization, in the ticket, in case if this server is having some issue, batch 48, so they will raise a ticket, right? In the ticket, either they will mention the server name or they will mention the IP address. So don't worry how to connect to the server directly and all. We will never connect to the server directly in the organization. Okay, we will get the IP address and using that IP address we'll connect to the server remotely. Okay, 224 dot and 154, right? 154. Okay, connect. Right, so administrator is the username and password is, like, while configuring, while installing Windows operating system, we gave one password, right? So that password you have to click yes, right? So in this way we can connect to the server remotely, guys. Right, now we just connected to the server remotely. Now we can start installing our SQL server and all. Right, let it be. Once the machine is ready, then we'll slowly, okay, initialize the installation process, guys. So generally, if you want to install SQL Server, we discussed, right, software components. So what is the software component? What software components you should have generally? Software requirements, I can say. .NET framework, this has been already installed during the last weekend. Right, now we should have SQL Server, right? If I want to install SQL Server software, I should have SQL Server, right? First of all, SQL Server software I should have. If you want to install any software, you should have software first. So in the same way, I want to install SQL Server now, so I should have SQL Server 2022 software. I'm going to show you how to install SQL Server 2022. So guys, SQL Server 2005, 2008, 8R2, 12, 12, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, the installation process is same. Sir, can you show me how to install SQL 2017? Not required. If you know how to install SQL 2022, it's very easy how to install SQL 2017 or 2014. The same process will be there. There is no difference in the process and all. As it is same process, might be based on the features, you might get one or two extra screens, but the base features, base controls, base settings, everything same as it is. So if you know how to install one version of SQL Server, then it's okay. You can install other versions also. The same procedure will be there. If you want, you can check. I'll give you 2017 SQL Server 2017 software. I'll give you SQL Server 2019 software. I'll give you SQL Server 2022 software also. 3 SQL Server versions I'll give you, latest versions. Check it. Okay, there is no difference at all. How you install SQL 2022, in the same way SQL 2017 and SQL 2019 also you have to install, and other SQL versions also you have to install. Okay, so process is same. Might be one or two extra screens you will get it. That's it. You don't get any extra. things. Okay, just 1 minute. 1 minute. Right. Right, okay. So now what we have to do, you got a ticket, okay, please install SQL Set 2022 on so and so server. Now you connect it to the server. Now what you have to do, so if you want to install SQL Set 2022, you should have SQL Set 2022 software, right? So in the organization, so how we are going to copy the softwares? Okay, in the organization, how you are going to copy the softwares? Generally in the organization, okay, for every server we will have a shared location, guys. For every server we will have a shared path. Okay, for every server that shared path will be accessible. Okay, the shared path will be like this, guys, double backslash, like this it will be server IP address 10.23.45.21 backslash, okay, SQL server softwares, like this. I'm just giving an example, like this it will be SQL server softwares backslash SQL server 2022, like this kind of path will be there. So what you have to do, you have to ask your colleagues, hey, what is the shared location for accessing DBA files and all. So in this path generally they are going to keep your softwares, scripts, generally regularly used scripts and all, they will keep it in this, and service packs, updates, service packs, cumulative updates, patch files, okay, everything they will keep it in this shared location. This shared location will be accessible from all the servers. If you are managing 1000 servers, this shared location should be accessible from all the servers. Why? Because we cannot right click copy, right click paste directly to the servers. So we'll use shared location. If you don't know it, you can ask your colleague, hey, what is the shared location path to access the SQL server files and all. Your colleagues will give you shared location path. What you have to do, take that path, go to the server where you want to install SQL server, open run, just paste it here, the shared location, and hit enter. If the path is accessible, if the path is existed, then you will get that folder. The folder will be opened. There you can see the softwares, scripts, patch files, everything you can see. If path is not if path is not accessible, if this server doesn't have access on that path, or if path is not existed, if path is wrong, you will get this kind of error, Windows can't access. Is it clear, guys, how to copy the files from your location, guys? In the organization you will have a shared location. That shared location path you have to take it from your colleagues. Once they give that shared location path, copy paste that shared location path on the server where you want to install SQL server, then hit enter. Okay, then if the path is accessible, if the path is existed, you will get it. In our case we don't have that path. I gave you a random example how the path look likes. Okay, there is no such path, so that's why I'm getting an error, network error. Okay, chalo. So now how I am going to install the SQL server? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach the SQL server software. How to attach the SQL server software? I'm going to attach ISO image. From where we can attach ISO image, guys? Can anyone tell me?
From VM box.
Very good. From VirtualBox storage settings, we can attach.
Disk symbol.
Yes, we can attach that particular SQL Server ISO image, guys. Okay, so let me open this folder. So now you can see, right, in this piece, if you just check this piece, you can see two drives. One is C drive, second one is D drive. In the D drive, nothing is there, empty. Now I am going to attach my SQL Server software. Go to Oracle VirtualBox Manager. This is my Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Okay, right click on the machine. Go to, guys, in the organization you don't have control on this environment. This will be controlled by the Windows team. Okay, so don't think in the organization you can attach the ISO image. No, in the organization will use shared location to copy the softwares. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, instead of creating a shared location, I am going to attach the software directly. Right click settings, like how we attached Windows Server software, in the same way we'll attach SQL Server software also. Go to storage, select this warning symbol, click on this disk symbol. So I'm going to give you SQL Server 2020 software, right? You are going to download it, right? You will keep it in one location, right? Click here, choose virtual disk optical file, go to that location and select this file SQL Server 2022. Double click on it, automatically it will be attached. Once you click OK, this ISO image will be attached as a file in your D drive. See here, earlier D drive is nothing. Now you can see SQL Server 2022 file. In this way, we have to attach the SQL Server software during our practice. In the organization, you have to copy from your shared location. Is it clear till now? Any questions, any doubts, guys? Any questions?
No, sir.
Fine. Right.
Can you?
Yes, please. No questions? Chalo. So let me open, right click, open. Okay, so you have to open this machine, guys. Open.
No, I have one question, Anna.
Yes, please.
As we are practicing, data is showing Windows ISO file.
Hmm.
Okay,
See,
now
you
we
have to
install that page.
see. First thing is,
Okay.
don't do parallel practice with me. Okay, I already told you, don't keep concentrating on both the things at a time. So why you can see Windows operating system in your D drive? Last time you attached Windows operating system and you installed Windows Server, so that's why you can see Windows operating system in your D drive. When you change the image to SQL Server, automatically Windows operating system will be gone and Windows operating system file will be replaced with the SQL Server 2022 file.
Okay, understand.
Yeah. Okay, and again my suggestion, don't practice parallelly with me. You don't get anything. Okay, chalo. So now I just opened the SQL Server 2022 file. So we have to use this setup file for any software. Generally, setup file will be there. You have to double click on the setup files to start the installation. Okay, to initialize the installation. So now what I'm going to do, as a DBS, you have to remember one thing. Always open the application files with run as administrator. Best practice to install SQL Server, okay, is first thing, always open the application with run as administrator. Second thing is restart the Windows Server before installing SQL Server. In the organization, you have to follow these two practices, best practices. First, always open the applications with run as admin mode. In case if you are having small issues, errors and all, that will be fixed if you open the application with run as admin mode. How to identify what is an application file? Here we have a lot of files, right? How to identify which one is an application file?
Last one. Application extension.
So if you see here the type of the file, you can see application. If you see the application file, so that file generally you have to open with run as admin mode. Okay, first thing. Second thing, what is the second thing we discussed? Best practice.
Restarting the
Restart the Windows machine. Always. Why? Because it's a new server, guys. It's a new server. It's not live. So you can restart it without taking any approvals and all. Without taking any approvals, you can happily restart the Windows server. It's a mandatory process to restart the Windows server before installing the SQL server. Anyhow, we just started this machine, right? Already restarted at 7 o'clock only. We just started this machine. No need to restart now. But in the organization, servers will be up and running, right? 24/7 servers will be up and running. So before installing SQL server, you have to restart the Windows machine. Chalo, right? Open this application file. How to open with run as administrator? Right click, you can see run as administrator. So you will get a pop-up, yes or no pop-up, you will get it. So just hit yes, okay, and then your setup file will be opened, guys. Okay, so just a minute, why it is taking this much time? I'm checking my server usage, guys, why it is taking this much time. Generally it cannot take this much time, so it is taking a lot of time to open setup file and all. So I'm just checking any other processes are there, so that, see here, CPU 100% is there, so that's why it is consuming CPU without installing SQL Server itself. Okay, so what we can do, let me check the internal CPU usage, my local laptop CPU usage, so that in case if any other unwanted processes are there, so I'm going to kill it. Okay, don't worry guys, at this point no issues. I'm going to explain you during the performance tuning and all. So if the system is slow, if the machine is slow, if the server is slow, how to act. Okay, I'm going to explain you. So as of now, I'm going to kill unused processes from my local laptop. Let me check my server CPU usage. Okay, then now it is in control. Okay, chalo. So now when you open setup file with run as admin mode, this installation center will be opened, guys. When I just opened this, right, I just opened with this file with run as admin mode. When you open this file with run as admin mode, this file will be opened. This is called installation center. This is called installation center. So from installation center itself, we are going to install the SQL server. So in the installation center, we will have different pages. Okay, this is one page, planning page, okay, page, pages.
What is the page?
Page means it's an area. Okay, so the
Some area.
requirements and also, sorry, what is that? What is that?
Main purpose and page.
See, page means don't think about SQL Server pages and all. That is a different page. Page means it's one section. That's it. We'll technically we'll call it as a page. Okay. So planning page, installation page, maintenance page, tools, resources, advanced options and all. Everything you can see from here. Okay, so planning page and all, in this page you can see what are the hardware requirements, software requirements and all you can see. In case if you want to download any other tools and all, you can download it from this planning phase. Generally from installation phase, we are going to install the SQL Server. So maintenance phase will have separate options, like if you want to upgrade your edition of SQL Server, if you want to repair the SQL Server, okay, you can repair it using this maintenance phase options. Tools and all, in case if you need any extra tools like system configuration checker is extra, no need to learn all these things. As a SQL DBA, we will just go to installation page and we'll start installing SQL Server. But it's better if you know something about this installation center and all. Later, if you want to like try any other options and all, you can try from here using your installation center. So resources still like books online and all, in case if you need any documents kind of thing, kind of stuff related to SQL Server licensing terms and all, you can check it from here. Okay, so in the same way, go to advanced also. There also you can see some installation configuration. Generally we have different types of installations, guys. Okay, we have different types of installations, means one SQL Server you can install in multiple ways. 5 or 6 ways we can install. You can install a SQL Server in 5 or 6 ways. Okay, Earlier I used it to teach, okay, during my early, okay, during my early batches, I used to teach all the installation types and all. But later, people are not at all using those methods. We have GUI installation, okay, we have GUI installation that we are doing. We can install SQL Server using command prompt. You will have one command. If you execute that command, automatically SQL Server will be installed. That is called silent installation. That is called silent installation. Using command prompt, you can install SQL Server. You can install SQL Server using INI file, INI, instant file initialization, INI file. Okay. So using this INI file also, you can install the SQL Server. You can install SQL Server using slipstream method. Okay, means if you want to install SQL Server and parallelly you want to patch the SQL Server, okay, installation and patching will be done at a time, okay, to save the time and all. That is called slipstream installation. And we have sysprep installation. Sysprep means installation will be divided into two parts. One part will be done by the Windows team, second part will be done by the Sql DBA team. That is called sysprep, system preparation phase, okay, sysprep installation. So, and then finally you can install SQL Server using PowerShell also. Using PowerShell command also you can install, but you don't need to learn all these things. Just be good in GUI installation. No one will ask you install SQL Server in command way or install SQL Server using PowerShell. You should know these things, okay, but you should know we have these many types to install the SQL Server, but no need to learn all these things, guys. So we'll discuss GUI based installation. We don't touch command, we don't touch slipstream and all. If you still want to learn, if you are eager to learn, we have our channel, right? Go to our channel. So I just prepared separate videos how to install SQL Server using a command, how to install SQL Server using slipstream method, sysprep method. So INI based file installation, command prompt based installation, silent installation. So created lot of videos in our channel. Go through it. You can came to know just for a better idea. That's it. Okay. But no one will ask you have to install in this way. They will ask you to install. It's your wish. In which way you are comfortable, you can install your SQL Server in that way, guys. No one will ask you install using only command prompt like that. No one will ask you. Okay. Chalo. Fine. Now go to installation phase. Now from this page we can start installing the SQL Server, guys, right? So here you can see new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to the existing installation. Here you can see new SQL Server standalone installation and add features to the existing installation. What is the standalone? Okay, so we have standalone installation and a cluster installation, guys. So what is the standalone? Standalone means if you create a Windows machine and if you are installing SQL Server in that machine, in that standalone machine, on a single machine. Simple terminology is if you are installing SQL Server on a single machine, that is called standalone installation. Okay, if you are installing SQL Server on a single machine, that is called standalone installation. We have a separate topic called cluster. Windows cluster, SQL cluster. Cluster means group of computers. If you are installing SQL Server on group of computers, that is called cluster installation. During HADR, high availability, disaster recovery, during HADR concept, I'll show you how to install a cluster installation. Okay, so as of now for 1 month, okay, we are going to use standalone installation only. Standalone installation means installing your SQL Server on a standalone machine, means a single machine. That is called standalone installation. So go to the server. So now you can see new SQL Server. This is your cluster installation. If you go down, okay, you can see cluster installation. Where is that cluster installation? Okay, here it was not there. I guess they are separated this one. Earlier 2019 2017 they used to have this here only. Okay, SQL Server cluster installation. Yeah, you can see here new SQL Server failure cluster installation. New SQL Server failure cluster installation. This is for failure cluster installation. So we are not going to touch this now. During HADR I'll show you this one how it will work and all, right? So now I'm going to install new SQL Server standalone installation. Select this option.
Sir,
Yes, please.
Sir, we don't have access to Oracle VirtualBox, right, sir? So who can attach that ISO image, sir?
Guys, can
Windows team,
anyone answer this question, please?
Windows team only, right?
No. Can anyone answer this question, please, guys? Can anyone answer? He is asking, we don't have access to Oracle VirtualBox. Then who will attach SQL Server software? That is his question. Can
We'll
anyone
have
please
a
answer?
shared,
Yes, sir.
we'll have shared path link where we can get all the software.
Got the answer?
Yes, sir.
So that's why we discussed this point before setting up this SQL Server ISO image. Okay, so I told you that we don't have access to a Oracle VirtualBox manager. So no one is going to attach. You have to copy using your shared location. I told you, right, in this shared location we will have SQL Server softwares. You have to open this shared location in the server. You can see that software, right click copy, right click paste. That's it. From that shared location, you can see SQL Server 2022 ISO image. Right click copy that ISO image from the shared location to go to server, open that C drive or D drive, wherever you want to copy. Just open the D drive, right click paste it. In this way we can copy the SQL Server software in the organization. Okay. Yes, someone is asking the doubt.
Yes, 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 sir. Got it.
Yeah. Any doubts, guys, here? No doubts? Okay, chalo. So here, if you see edition screen, so which edition you want to install? If you want to install a free edition, guys, in developer edition, as discussed in the last class, in the developer edition, all features will work. In the developer edition, all the features will work. But as it is a free edition, what we cannot do with this free edition? As this is a free edition, we cannot install this edition on a production servers. So free editions generally you cannot install it on the production servers. Okay, only licensed editions you can install on the production servers, like standard edition, enterprise edition. These are all licensed editions. Okay, so if you want to install a free edition, these are free editions, guys. Evaluation is free for 180 days, which is 6 months. Developer edition is free and express edition is free, but we have some challenges. Express edition means, what are the challenges we have? Can anyone tell me? Main challenge with express edition.
It should not be exceeded. The database
Very good.
is 1 GB.
10 GB.
Sorry, 10 GB. Yeah.
That is one challenge, and another challenge. What
We
is the other
should not
challenge?
install on production servers.
That's okay. Another challenge we have. Can anyone tell me? We don't have SQL Server agent for Express Edition,
Yes,
so
yes.
automation is very difficult. So without agent, we cannot perform automation, and also Express Edition generally we don't use it. Evaluation Edition is free for 180 days. Every 180 days you are going to uninstall and install, means it's not good. Anyhow, Developer Edition is free with all the features, right? So we'll choose Developer Edition. If you want to install, see, 2022 is completely migrated to Azure, guys. Azure is a separate concept. Azure means cloud, guys. I'll give you a basic intro about the Azure. So guys, if you are cooking, that is called on-prem servers. Cooking means if you are cooking your own food and all. Self-cooking is your on-prem servers. We have two environments. One is on-prem servers, second one is cloud servers. On-prem and cloud. What is the difference between on-prem and cloud? On-prem means we are only managing our own data centers. Every organization will have its own data center, guys. Small or big, data center is nothing but the servers. Okay, all the servers that are used by one organization, so they will keep it in one building, right? So that building or that floor or that room is called a data center. Okay, in the data center, what you can see, all the servers, we are getting one server from here, right? Even my laptop is also one data center. Why? Because I am managing this many servers, right? My laptop is also one data center, right? So if you are managing multiple servers in one place, okay, by keeping a separate room, by providing a AC, by providing electric that one power and all. So that is called one data center. Every organization will have its own, even colleges also will have its own data centers, guys. Okay, so this data center, okay, generally as discussed, if we are managing our own data centers and all by creating a new machines and all, that is called on-prem. On-prem means on premises, on-prem servers. Okay, on-prem servers. Okay, on-prem servers. So on-prem means if you are managing our own servers, on-premises servers. We have cloud servers also. Okay, so cloud, we have cloud provider. How we are having internet service provider, we have cloud service provider also there. So in cloud, cloud means Swiggy or Zomato. You cannot cook yourself, you don't know how to cook and all, then go to Swiggy, go to Zomato, check what restaurant you want, select that restaurant, check what items you want, select that item, check what add-ons you want. Add-ons, right? If you keep adding some other extra items and all like gulab jam with biryani, if you add gulab jam, extra 40 rupees they are going to charge you. So extra add-ons and all in the Swiggy or in the Zomato, you can order whatever you want and they are going to charge you as per your usage. If you want a gulab jamun with a biryani, biryani separate charge, gulab jamun separate charge. If you want gulab jamun, you have to pay extra. Like
We
that,
can
if you want,
customize.
yes, like that, if you want any service, you have to pay to the cloud provider. So we have three main cloud providers in the market. Can anyone tell me what are those three main cloud providers in the market?
Azure, AWS.
AWS, Azure.
AWS and Google.
Google
Google.
Cloud.
GCP. Okay, Google Cloud Platform, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, guys. These are three main cloud providers. Okay, what they are going to do on behalf of our company, they will manage our servers. They will have different data centers across the globe. In India also we have 4 data centers. Okay, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai. They started recently. So we have 4 data centers in India also. Okay, so they are going to manage our servers. They are going to manage your Microsoft Azure will manage our servers. Whatever you want, hey, you want a machine, take it, this is the price. Hey, you want only service, hey, you want only RAM, hey, you want only storage, you want only networking, take this is the service, this is the charges you have to pay. So on behalf of our company, they are managing the servers, that is called cloud, that is called cloud. Yes, please. Yes, any questions here? No questions? Chalo. Okay, so 2022 is completely integrated with the cloud, guys. That's why you can see these options. Okay, generally if you go with SQL Server 2017 or 2019, you don't see this option, use pay as you go billing through Microsoft Azure. This is one option in the Azure. This is one option in the Azure, so we don't use this option. If you want to install a licensed version, if you want to install a free version, you will select this. If you want to integrate with the Azure, you will select this. If you want to install a licensed version, you will select this third option and you have to enter that product key. When you buy a software, they will give you a product key, 16 digits product key. They will give you that 16 digits product key, you have to enter here. Okay, so that is how you have to install the licensed version, either standard or enterprise. If you want to install a free edition, choose this edition and you can select developer edition. Automatically developer edition will be selected, guys. Chalo, go to next. So you can see the next screen from here, guys. Okay, next screen, first edition, then license terms, then global rules, then Microsoft upgrade. You can see all the screens, guys, here. Okay, any software, generally we have to choose I accept the license terms, right? Choose I accept license terms. Next, global rules, guys. Here generally while installing SQL Server, let me go back. Using this option you can go back, show details. It will check all these rules passed or not. So this is called global rules screen. Either all the rules should be passed, you can see here everything is passed and you can see the green check, or see here we have 3 options: failed, passed, failed, warning, skipped. 4 options. Passed means you can see a green check. So no worries, you can proceed. Failed. Out of how many checks we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 checks. Out of these 7 checks, if one check is also failed, out of these 7 checks, if one check is failed, you cannot go next, guys. This next button will be grayed out. Imagine if restart computer check is failed, what you have to do, how to troubleshoot. Why? Because generally you can see this check will be failed in the organization. If you are installing SQL Server on an existing server, this check will be failed. What is the troubleshooting method? What troubleshooting method you will follow? This check is failed, guys. Now how we are going to fix that issue? Restart computer check is failed.
Again, restart the machine and
Yeah.
try it.
That's it. You can simply close this setting, close this window, you restart the Windows server, and then you can try to install the SQL Server again. Okay, that's why sometimes if you don't restart, this check will be failed. Out of 7 checks, either all 7 should be passed, or warning is also fine, or skipped is also fine. But if one check is failed, one red mark, generally you will get a red mark, red cross mark you will get it if it is failed. Even though if one check is failed, you cannot proceed next, guys. So you have to check this rules, global rules and all. If you are unable to see next button, means something happened here, at least one check is failed here. So expand this global rules and check in case which check is failed and all, and then fix it the issue, and then you have to proceed further, guys. Okay, next. These are the Microsoft updates. Generally we don't install SQL Server with updates, guys. Why? Because every software will have updates, right? You are using PhonePe application, you are using WhatsApp application, so that application will have an update, right? So every application will have some updates. So if you want to install with the updates, check this option. Okay, no, first of all I want to install the SQL Server, later I want to apply the updates and all, then uncheck this. And generally we don't check this option in the organization. Why? Can anyone tell me? Generally we don't use this option in the organization. Why?
Generally, at organization level, the updates will be decided by that means Microsoft. So that's why whenever it is required, then only it has to go.
So first thing is, yes, you're almost correct. Yeah. And the very first
Patches,
important thing,
basically.
sorry.
We'll install the patches which are being like required.
Right. So why we don't use this option? The organization, in the organization, servers don't have internet. So if I choose this option, it will download the latest update from the internet, and then it will start up patching during installation itself. So if I select this option, I should have internet, right? In the organization, servers will be connected intranet. Internet means if the servers are connected to the public network, that is internet. Intranet means if the servers are connected with each other in the organization. If the servers are connected with each other, 100 servers are there. If 100 servers are communicating with each other, the servers are in intranet. So intranet servers don't get internet. If internet is not there, what updates it is going to download? It cannot download any updates, right? So that's why we don't use this feature in the organization. And as Muni mentioned, the updates will be decided by the DBA team. Okay, when we have to patch the server and all will be decided by the DBA team. So we'll patch it separately after the installation. Got the point, guys? Why we don't use this option, Microsoft update? So it needs an internet. Servers don't have internet in the organization, so generally we don't use this option. After installation, we'll manually download. Why? Because we have to update it for security purpose and all. We have to update. If you don't update your WhatsApp, what is the problem? There might be a security issues, or there might be features you cannot see, new features and all you cannot see, right? Security vulnerabilities and all will be there. So to overcome these things, we'll patch the WhatsApp. We'll update the WhatsApp. Update, patching, both are same. In the same way, we have to patch it, but not during installation. After installation, we'll separately, manually will download the update, and we'll copy the updates to the server, and we'll apply the patchings. Okay, so we don't use this Microsoft update. Why? What is the main reason?
First, there is no network,
There is no
internet.
yes,
Then it's decided by the DBA team.
correct. Okay, so go to next. Fine. So now again it is going to check whether this system is suitable for installation or not. It will install some supported files, and also in this screen it is going to scan it first. This system is suitable for SQL Server installation or not. Like it will check physical and hardware requirements, software and hardware requirements and all. Later it will decide. Now check here. Again 5 checks you can see. Out of this 5 checks, Windows Firewall is warning. As it is showing warning, you can see next button. If it is showing failed, red circle here, okay, if it is failed means you can see red mark here, so you cannot proceed. See how back button is grayed out, in the same way next button also will be grayed out. So now all the checks are succeeded, or warning is fine, we can proceed. Go to next. Right here, if you want, I told you, right, Azure extension and all, it was integrated with Azure extension and all. You can see Azure extension. I don't want to use this Azure extension, guys. Okay, so uncheck this one. I don't want to use this Azure extension feature and all. Why? Because I told you 2022 is integrated with Azure. Okay, slowly what Microsoft will do after 10 years, they will stop, I am guessing so, they will stop on-prem servers, of course depends upon the clients and all, and they will slowly change the customers towards the cloud, guys. Okay, that's why they are slowly implementing these features. Okay, we are not going to touch any Azure related things now, so happily you can uncheck this option and you can proceed next. Right, very important screen. So here we have to choose the features, what features you want to install. If you want to install SQL Server, you have to install some features, guys. Okay, you have to install some features. Any questions? Who is that? Okay, fine. Right, so let me go to this screen. Yeah, it is recording. So here you have to choose the features. We have two types of features: specific features, instance features, and shared features. Specific features and shared features. So in the specific features, you should select database engine. Okay, in the specific features, you should select database engine services. So database engine is one component. If you want to install SQL Server, you should select this database engine. How car engine is important to run the car, database engine is important to run your SQL Server. You're installing SQL Server means you're installing a database engine. It is going to store the data. It is going to process the data. It is going to retrieve the data. Everything will be done by your database engine. So database engine is must and should. You have to select this database engine option, guys. You have to select this database engine option. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server. Okay, so this is very, very important. So if you are installing SQL Server means you have to install one database engine feature. And then apart from this, see guys, depends upon my requirement. As I said, if you go to Swiggy, my customization is different, your customization is different. Okay, so my customization is fried rice. I want to eat fried rice in the afternoon. You want to eat biryani. So I'll choose fried rice, you will choose biryani. Right, so it depends upon our requirement, the item will be changed, right? In the organization also depends upon the application requirements. The features that we are going to choose is different. For one application we'll choose some extra features, for another application we'll choose some other features. But if you want to install SQL Server means database engine is must and should. Okay, without database engine I cannot install any other things, right? So database engine is must. But if you need extra features and all, you have to choose those extra features. Depends upon the organization to organization. If you need a polybase feature, so what is polybase feature? It's not related to the SQL Server and all, so will be related to some other database softwares. Then we'll choose the polybase feature. So generally as a DBA we don't need it, but in case if there is an application requirement, then we'll choose polybase and all. Then we'll choose data quality services. But
Shanmugh, one doubt.
yes,
How we come to know that what are all the requirements
very good
when
question.
the ticket is raised?
In every
Like what
ticket,
are all to be
yes,
ticked and what are all to be unchecked? How could
yes,
come
yes,
to know?
yes. They don't tell you what are all to be checked, what are all to be unchecked, but in the ticket, every ticket, if it is following some standards, they will have build sheet. I told you in the last class, okay, called build sheet. Okay, so in the build sheet they will include all the things. Build sheet. So what features you have to choose, what would be the server name, service account details. There are some inputs also. We should give service account details and all. We should give SA account details and all. Okay, so and we should select port numbers and all. After installation we have to enable some settings and all. Everything will be mentioned in the build sheet. Okay, so if the organization is following standards, generally 90% organizations will follow standards, but some startup companies and all, they might not have build sheet and all. So in that case, what features they want, generally they will include in the ticket, or you have to cross check with the user what features they want. Generally they will raise, hey, please install 2022. Okay, what features you want in 2022? We have different features. What features do you need? We have to cross check with the user, and then only you have to proceed. You have to choose those features. Okay, chalo, clear? Any questions here, please? Right. Okay, so here by default we'll choose database engine. Replication is a feature in the SQL server. It's a HADR feature in the SQL server. We'll choose replication. Full text also will help you to search the data and all. For faster search, we'll use full text feature. So these three main features we use it to install for every SQL server. These are by default features. These are by default features. You should select these three features for must and should. Apart from this, if they are asking extra features, what extra things you can do with the SQL server? I told you what is the use of the SQL server. What is the use of the SQL server?
To store and process the data, sir.
Process the data, store the data, and retrieve the data.
Retrieve the data.
Right. Apart from this, SQL server also can be used to integrate the data. Okay, using integration services. Using integration services called SSIS. Okay, we can integrate. Integrates means what? So you want to integrate from another RDBMS software, from Oracle to SQL server you want to integrate the data. From Notepad to SQL server you want to copy the data. From SQL server to Excel sheet you want to copy the data. From other database to SQL server you want to extract the data. From SQL server to other data source you want to export the data. In such cases we'll use integration services. Apart from storing, processing and retrieving, we'll also use SQL server for integration with different data sources like Oracle to SQL server to Oracle, Notepad to SQL server to Notepad, Excel sheet to SQL server to Excel sheet, some other RDBMS softwares to SQL server to some other RDBMS. You want to integrate the data, you have to use SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. You can analyze the data using SQL Server. You can analyze the data using SQL Server. What is that feature used for? SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. You can report, you can generate beautiful reports. You can generate beautiful reports using SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services. SQL Server Reporting Services. Using these services, you can integrate the data. These services are called bids. Can anyone tell me what is bids? BIS means Business Intelligence Development Studio. Okay. So what is this used for? To analyze your data, to integrate the data, to, I told you right last time, I gave you more example. If you are going to any shop also, they are going to take your mobile number. I told you right, more. If you go to more, they will track your mobile number. They will track your spends using your mobile number. What they will do? So once you just give your mobile number, they will check right when you are buying the items and all. So they will check this week you bought some items, next week you bought some items, next week you bought some other items. So they will came to know, okay, this guy is using 1 kilo tur dal for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So next after that, they will analyze it. and they will start sending the offers on Tordal after 1 month. Why? Because after 1 month your Tordal is completed. They use it to send Tordal offers directly. They will do SMS to you, so you will go to, like, they are going to improve their business strategy and all. To do all these things, they need some data. They are going to integrate the data from different sources. They will analyze the data, how you are spending the things and all, and they are going to generate a beautiful reports. Okay, this guy monthly is spending 5,000 rupees, okay, on so and so kirana and all. So like that, they are going to analyze the data. To do all these things, this is how a business will run, guys. Okay, to do all these things, we need these 3 tools. Okay, so these are extra tools, guys. If you want, you have to pay extra to these tools. Okay, so if they are asking for, I need integration services, I need reporting services, I need analysis services, then you can choose analysis services, or else you can choose integration services. Okay, or else you can choose reporting services. See here, there is no reporting. Looking for reporting services, download it from the web. You have to select this option. Reporting services will be downloaded, and you have to install the reporting services also. So depends upon the requirements, they might ask you to install reporting services, integration services, and analysis services, guys. What you have to do, in case if they're asking, hey, can you please install? I have a quick question for all of you. Now I'll complete the installation. I don't install analysis, integration and all. Okay, now I'll complete the installation. After 1 month, can I choose only analysis services for the same instance? After 1 month, okay, customer is asking, now he is okay with these 3 basic features. After 1 month, he is asking, hey, I need integration services for so and so server. Can we install extra features? Can we add on after the installation at any time?
Shared features we can take, I think.
Just try it, guys. No problem. Just try it. In keeping on also you can try.
I think if okay, do you mean we have to install a new instance, or we have to go back to this very one? Like
Okay.
like a new instance? What's that question again?
Okay. So during new installation, new instance only we have to select. After that we cannot select, right, Krista? Okay, fine. So the answer is yes, we can choose. Okay, we can choose features later also. Okay, see, for if you see here, what is the option it is showing, guys? What is the option it is showing? New SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. What is the meaning of this one? Add features to an existing installation. I'm sorry, by mistake you just forgot to select one feature. By mistake you forgot to select one feature during installation. Later, can I add that feature? Is it possible?
Yes, we can add.
We can add it. Happily we can add it at any time you want. Even if you don't forget, after 1 year, for the same instance, some customer came to you, hey, can you install SSIS on this instance? Happily we can do that. Add-ons we can do at any point of time, guys. No issues. After installation also, again you can add features. It is clearly saying add features to an existing instance, existing installation. So whenever you want, you can add the features, whatever features it is. Okay, so database engine replication full text is main. Apart from this, if they are asking SSIS, you have to choose integration services. If they are asking analysis services, 1 minute, please. Right. Okay, fine. 1 minute, please. One minute. Right. Okay. So after installation also you can choose these features, guys. Okay, so shade features, they changed it in 2022. In 2017, 2019, you have to select some shade features. What I'll do, after SQL Server installation 2022 installation, I'll show you SQL Server 2019 installation also. So there are, you can see, you can identify the differences between 2019 installation and 2022 installation. There are some features you have to select, like client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, client connectivity SDK. These are 4 shared features. So now those features are not there in this new feature, new SQL Server version. So I'm going to show you, in case in the organization, if anyone is asking to install 2017 or 2019, you have to choose shared features also, right? After this 2022 installation, I'll show you 2019 installation also, but most of the things are same. You will only identify 1 or 2 extra features will be there, so that we have to choose during the installation. So as of now, I'm going to install these 3 features, guys. Shared features, we don't need these shared features. I'll show you. From 2022 onwards, they removed some shared features, so that's why you cannot see the shared features here. But in 2019, 2017, you have to choose some shared features. I'll show you during 2019 installation. So where you are going to install these files, you can, generally we have C drive, right? Everything will be installed in the C drive only. In the organization, we will have drive notation. Guys, now we are discussing how to install SQL Server normally. So if you want to know how to install SQL Server in the organization, process is same, but in our cluster installation, I'll create separate drives. So in the organization, generally at this moment, you cannot understand what is data, what is log and all, but in the organization, we'll have separate drives, okay? 3 or 4 drives will maintain. We'll keep files in the separate drives and all. So during cluster installation, I'll create 3-4 drives, and I'll show you how we will manage the things, how we will save, where we will save and all. You'll get to know in the cluster installation, guys. So as of now, everything I'm installing in the C drive only. I'm not changing any path. If you want to change the path and all, you can. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just 1 minute. Why it is not responding? Why my server is not responding? Okay. Just a minute, guys. It was disconnected. Okay, done. My server is back. Okay. So if internet and all is keep disconnecting, then you'll get that black screen. Okay. So now you got that screen, right? So immediately it was connected. Chalo. So in the organization, we'll have different drives. So I'll show you during cluster installation how to organize the drives and also no problem at all. So now you just came to know everything we are storing in C drive only. If you want to store in different drives, you can select this browse button. You can choose the other drives and all. Generally, we have only C drive at this point. So you can choose the other drives in case if you want to store the data in different drives and all. As of now, it will be stored in C drive only, guys. As of now, it will be stored in C drive only. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me place my mobile phone in a good signal location so that no problem will be there. Just 1 minute.
Very well, not to Kiran's.
Right, chalo. Fine. So I'm going to use the same path as of now. Keep it as it is, guys. Don't change this path. We have only C drive. So there is no.
Shanmukha,
Yes,
one
please.
more doubt.
Yes, please.
So whatever the share paths that you have there in the 3 parts, no, that all will be shared by our team, DB team, right? So where they are going to store all this.
See, you will came to know here, you know, right, where it is installing and all. It will create a C program files. In that, it will create one folder, Microsoft SQL Server. You will came to know the path, right? Who will share a path with you?
No, I'm telling the files are all the files whichever we are installing, right? It all should be in a one folder, right? That folder will be given by them, or it should be created by our own.
Who? Them means who?
Our colleagues will be having like this.
No,
Whenever you
colleagues means we
install.
have to take care of the installation only. So paths,
Okay.
folders, no, nothing will be created. Only drives will be created by Windows team. Okay. Ultimately, you have to take decision as per the organization standards. Again, in the build sheet, they will mention data has to go to which drive, log has to go to which drive, tempdb has to go to which drive, backups has to go to which drive. Everything will be mentioned clearly in the build sheet. So as per the build sheet, you have to check whether all the drives are created or not before installing. Then that's why at this point, if you go deep, you will be confused. People will be confused. So slowly I'll go. Okay, nothing to worry. During cluster installation,
Okay,
you'll get to know how to organize the
okay.
things and all. Okay. Chalo, as of now, don't change these paths, guys. Keep it as it is. Don't select all the features. If you select all the features, nothing will happen. All the features will be installed. Simply, you have to pay extra. Your company will pay extra money to the Microsoft. That's it. Select whatever features you want. That's it. If you are not using that features, okay, you have to pay extra fees and all to the Microsoft. Okay, chalo, go to next. And just check the free space in the drives, guys, before installing. If you see here, you can see here how much free space is there, how much it needs. So you can see here from this window. Okay, just keep checking. At least we have 4 to 5 GB free space. Generally in the organization we have 100 GB 200 GB drives will be there, nothing to worry. But again, okay, before installing, it's always good to check the free space in the drives. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, here, see here, drive, it is going to install the drive, right? How much it needs? 1.4, how much? 1.4 GB, 14 15 MB, right? So 1.4 GB. How much we have? How much we have?
1320.
13 GB.
288.
13
Yeah, 13 GB roughly, guys. You can treat it as 13 GB. I told you, right? Three parts you have to differentiate: 8 MB, 88 MB, 288 MB, 3 GB, 13 GB. You have to calculate in that way. Okay. So we have enough. We need 1.4 rupees. We have 13 rupees, right? So no issues. We have enough storage and also you can proceed happily. Okay. Go to next. So if you want reporting services and all, you can choose reporting services from here, but we don't choose any reporting services. Let me go to next. It's loading. Chalo. Now, very important screen, guys. This is hardly in installation 4 to 5 new terminologies will be there. You have to concentrate. So in that, this is also one extra terminology, guys. Very important. What is instance? Can anyone tell me?
Instance is nothing but a SQL server, sir.
What is instance, guys? Instance is nothing but yes,
Instance
please.
means application users.
Application users.
I don't know actually, but
Okay, that's fine. You tried it. You tried it. Okay, very good. Okay. Instance is nothing but one SQL server, guys. One SQL server copy. One SQL, technically we'll call it as an instance. Generally we are calling SQL server, right? In the organization we don't call SQL server, or we'll call SQL instance. One software, one SQL server copy is equal to one SQL instance. Okay, so instance is another terminology for server. SQL server or SQL instance, both are same. So Windows server will call it as a Windows server, right? SQL server will generally call it as a SQL instance. Means one SQL server copy is called one SQL instance. Like that, how many SQL instances I can install in one Windows server? Can anyone tell me? How many SQL copies I can install in one Windows machine? This is one Windows machine.
50.
In this Windows machine, very good, Krista. So in this Windows machine, how many SQL servers I can install? How many SQL servers I can install? Krista already told the answer.
50.
50, sir.
50 copies we can install in one instance, guys. 50 copies of SQL servers we can install in one Windows machine. Sir, do we really install 50 copies? No. Hardly 90% will install one SQL instance per one Windows machine. But Microsoft gave a provision that you can install 50 instances. That doesn't mean you have to install 50 instances, right? You can install up to 50 SQL server copies. one SQL Server copy for one requirement, one application, another SQL Server copy for another application. Like that, you can install SQL up to 50 SQL Server copies in one Windows machine. In the organization, will hardly install only one SQL instance per one machine. Sometimes you can see 2 instances, 3 instances, 4 instances also. If it is a lower environment, to save the money, they will install 3, 4 instances also in one Windows machine. But believe me, they will install only one SQL instance per one Windows machine. But still we have a provision that we can install up to 50 SQL Server copies, guys. Okay, so in this instance we have two types again. Okay, so how many types of instances are there? Two types. One is default instance, second one is named instance. What is the difference between default and named instance? Default instance, there is no difference, guys. Functionality wise, there is no difference between a default instance and named instance. Functionality wise, features wise, there is no difference between a default instance and named instance. Then why we have two instances? Why? Because default instance, it will generally take while connecting, take the server name, Windows server name. Okay, while connecting to the SQL server, it will take the Windows server name. Only connection server names will be different. Default instance and named instance, everything is same, features and all same, functionalities are same, everything is same. Only difference is you have to connect default instance using different name, you have to connect named instance using different name. So generally it will take computer name, guys. Your default instance will take computer name. Your default instance will take computer name. Your default instance will take computer name while connecting to the SQL server. I'll show you after installation how to connect to the SQL server using Management Studio. I'll show you. There during connection you have to give the computer name to connect to default instance. If you installed named instance, you have to give a specific name. What name you gave during the installation, that name you have to give, guys. Functionalities wise and features wise, there is no difference. Sir, is it mandatory to install default instance? Not mandatory. Is it mandatory to install named instance? Not mandatory. For the first time you can install anything, default instance you can install or named instance you can install. Generally we'll use default instance in the organization. Why? Because I told you, right, only one instance will install in the server, in each Windows server. So we will use that single instance as a default instance. Now my question is, how many total instances we can install on a Windows machine? Just now we discussed how many total instances we can install on a Windows machine.
50, sir.
50, right? Out of 50, how many of them are default instances? How many of them are named instances? Can anyone tell me?
One is default.
49.
One is the
One is default instance and remaining 49 named instance.
name install.
Right? So why only one default instance? Why not two? Can anyone tell me what is the reason?
Because
Same name cannot be repeated.
Machine name unique duplication.
Very good, very good. Why only one default instance means, as it is going to take the server name, Windows machine name cannot be duplicated. So imagine in our class, okay, 1 minute, let me 1 minute.
Only primary key.
Primary key na. What is that primary key? Okay, so here we have Maunika B, Maunika K. Imagine we have two Maunikas here, Maunika B, Maunika K. Both are like same names, initials are different. But if I call Maunika, who will respond? Who will respond? The best case both will respond. Worst case, Maunika B will think about Maunika K. Maunika K will think about Maunika B. So no one will respond.
None of them.
Right? So either both people will respond or no one will respond. So that is the challenge. Computer name is only one name. Okay, so whenever you give the computer name, it is going to take the server name, right? You don't give a separate name for instance. It will take automatically during installation, it will take a, okay, automatically it will take a server name. Server name cannot be duplicated. If it is duplicated while connecting to the server, which server it is going to connect, right? So that's why it cannot be duplicated. So that's why we cannot install two default instances. So now my question is, guys, is it clear why we cannot install two default instances? Is it clear? Name will be duplicated. Please, please, please. One minute, guys, 1 minute. Right, okay, fine. So as names cannot be duplicated, if names are duplicated while connecting to the servers, it will create some problems, right? So that's why default instance, only one default instance we can install for the whole machine. Guys, is it clear? Any doubts here? Please let me know. I'm happy to explain again, no issues. Everyone, is it clear? Default instance.
Okay.
Why only one
Yes.
default instance? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now my question is, imagine the Windows machine. Can I install? I have Windows 2022, right? Now we are having Windows 2022, right? So what and all SQL servers I can install in this Windows 2022 machine? So generally we can install SQL 2016. SQL 2014 means 14 to 2022, how many years? 8 years. So not 2014. SQL 2016 we can install, right? SQL 2017 we can install in this machine. SQL 2019 we can install, and SQL 2022 we can install, right? So now my question is, can I install one default instance for SQL 2016, one default instance for 2017, one default instance for 2019, one default instance for 2022? Is that fine, guys?
Yes, sir. No problem. But if something went wrong at Windows level, it will be problem.
Okay.
Not possible, sir.
So guys, did you get my question? So can I install different default instances for different versions of SQL Server? Is it possible?
No, no, no,
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
I
sir.
guess.
no.
In the same Windows machine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
No, sir.
no or yes?
No, no, sir. Because of server name should be unique.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but here at in version level, it's different, na, sir. There is no duplication also. Then we can install.
Okay. So the answer is okay. No, not at all possible. Okay. So whatever version it is, once the default instance is locked with one version, you cannot install any other version default instance. Okay, so only one default instance per Windows machine for all the versions. If you install 2022 default instance, you cannot install 2019 default instance, 2017 default. It's not based on the version. Once the name is taken by one SQL server, you cannot use the same name. Again, the same question, while connecting to the SQL server, you gave the machine name. To which instance it will connect? 2016, 2017, 2019, 2022. Tell me now, Muni.
Sir, what if case if
Sir,
you give that name
after,
instances for the other version, sir?
You can happily you can install, no issues. Okay, named instance you can install. 2016 one named instance you can install, 2017 named instance you can install, 2019 you can install, 2022 named instance also you can install, no issues at all. Yes, Muni, you are saying something.
I'm getting little bit confused.
Nothing confusion, Muni. Imagine we have two Munis here. Imagine we
Yeah.
have two Munis. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I call Muni, which Muni will respond? Either two or none of them. Right? Imagine I
Yes, sir.
have 2016 Muni instance, 2017 Muni instance. I can give my name as Muni also. Instance name I can give Muni also. No issues. You can give your name also. No issues at all. So if I install 2016 Muni, 2017 Muni while connecting to the SQL server in the management studio, if I give Muni, which instance it will connect? 2016 or 2017?
Whatever
No.
that name is there.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, question I didn't get again.
So if I gave Muni name as my instance name, if I gave Muni,
Okay.
while connecting to that SQL server, if I gave Muni, which instance it will connect? 2016 or 2017?
2016,
Why?
17, sir.
Why?
17.
Why? Any specific
Actually,
reason?
Muni means it's computer name, right?
Uh,
So then it will connect to the Muni only, I think.
no, you are saying we can install 2016 Muni, 2017 Muni, right? For every version, you can give default instance, right? You are saying.
Yeah.
Right, so if I give while connecting, I'll give Muni only. I cannot give 2016 Muni, 2017 Muni.
Means then I can't connect to the SQL server. I can
Right.
connect only commission.
Huh? I can connect
So
only.
that's sorry, that server.
Server.
Means,
See,
yeah.
here we will use one tool called Management Studio SSMS.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
in the
sir.
SSMS, it don't give you 2016 SSMS, 2017 SSMS and all. So common SSMS will be there, common platform
Yes,
where
sir.
you
Yes,
have
sir.
to give the server name. So if I
Oh.
give server name in the 20 SSMS, which Muni it will connect? 2016 SSMS, 2016 SQL Server or 2017 SQL Server? Got the point, Muni? Very simple.
Yes, yes, sir.
Very
Yes, sir.
simple. If you have two names, either two will respond or none of them are respond. So in the same way, if I have two 2016 Muni, 2017 Muni, while connecting to the server, if I gave Muni, which instance it will connect? 2016 or 2017 or 2019 or 2020? We don't know, right? So that's
Yes, sir.
why multiple default instances are not possible in a one Windows machine. Only one default instance of any version is possible. Clear now, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everyone, is it
Yes.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Named instances, you can give any name, okay? You can give any name, any version you can install, you can give any name here. So while giving the name, if you want to give named instance, choose named instance and then you have to give the name. This name up to 16 characters you can give, okay? You can give up to 16 characters. Now I am typing, it is not allowing me. Okay, it is not allowing me to type. Okay, up to 16 characters you can give, guys. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 8 9 again 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now it is not typing, now it is not taking the numbers. Okay, that means you can give up to 16 characters as an instance name. This is the first rule while giving name of the instance. Sir, who will give? Sir, can I give my own name? Can I give my own name? Like I want to give Katrina Kaif. Can I give it, sir? Yes, you can give it if you love Katrina Kaif. Okay, but the thing is, who will decide this instance name? Your application owner will decide this instance name. Your application owner will decide this instance name, not you, not me, not a DBA team. In the build sheet, they will mention what would be the name of the instance. They will decide and they will update you in the build sheet, so you have to copy paste that name as it is here. Got the point, guys? But while giving the names, you have to follow some rules. Thumb rules are there. What is the thumb rule? Instance name cannot be more than 16 characters. Your instance name should start with alphabets only. Okay, it will accept the numbers, but it should start with alphabets only. Okay, see, I cannot give 47 48 SQL server. Okay, at least I have to start with a B48. Alphabet is there, right? It should start with alphabets only. It will accept the numbers, but instance name should start with alphabets only. That is second thumb rule. And third thumb rule is it will accept the special characters, but only two special characters. What are those two special characters? Dollar and underscore. Only these two special characters it will accept. Means I can give name like this, B48 underscore SQL server 2022. Can I give name like this, guys? Is that okay? So it is not taking, okay. 2020. Can I give name like this? B48 underscore SQL server. Can I give
No,
name like this?
no.
Why no?
There's a
Space.
space in between the L and the S, the SQL and the server.
Right, very good. Space, okay. Space is also a special character. Space is also a special characters. And you can give capital S, small x, it's not a case sensitive. You can give like either caps or small, no issues. But here the challenge is underscore it will accept, but don't accept the space. So what you have to do, you can give like this dollar. Now is it clear? B48 underscore SQL dollar server. Okay, so in this way you can give. So first thumb rule is not more than 16 characters. Second thumb rule, it should start with alphabets only. Third thumb rule, it will accept only underscore and dollar symbols as a special characters. It don't accept any other special characters, including space. Clear? Giving instance name, is it clear? Now I have a quick question for all of you. You can use awk, pawk, karvepak or inky, pinky, ponky formula. Now tell me, can I change the instance name after installation? No problem. You just use inky, pinky, ponky, no issues. Yes or no? Can I change the instance name after
Yes.
installation?
Yes, sir.
So what is that yes called? Inky, pinky, ponky, yes, or you have an idea?
No idea, sir.
You have an idea.
Yes.
We can change the instance name.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Right, guys. I need answers from everyone. So after this, we'll take a break. Then we'll come back after 15 minutes. But before that, before going to next screen, tell me.
Sir, that is okay, but
Do
just a
one
second,
thing.
sir.
Do one thing. Do one thing. Type your
Sir.
answers in the chat. Everyone, guys. I need some interaction. Okay, it's not like keep on lecturing on something. Just type your answers. Can we change the instance name after installation? Yes, Muni.
Sir,
What
this
your
is
question?
okay. But sir, that Windows level, you said we can install one default server in one per one Windows level, right?
For one Windows machine, yes.
Then you are saying that we can connect many versions like 2016 named instance like 17 or 1922, right? So
Okay.
for those, where is that? Where it will be the default instance will be placed, sir, for those named instances?
See, don't think for every for every named instance, I'll install a default instance. For the whole Windows machine, either 2022 or 2019 or 2017 or 2016, I'll install only one default instance. That can be anything, any version, 2016 to 2022, any version I'll install. So what is your question here is, for every version I'll install default. That's what, again, you are not clear here, Muni. You're very much confused here. So
No.
now
Yes.
tell me your question. No problem at all. So tell me.
No, I'm almost clear, but I'm thinking that for every version there should be a default instance under
It's your wish. It's
service
your wish,
account.
Muni. It's see, forget about service account. That comes at a different part. We are not
Okay.
going to touch it now.
Okay.
See, 2016 you want to install default or named, your wish. Once you
Okay.
install, so you decided to install default instance for 2016. Okay. Now then you cannot install 2017 default, 2019 default, 2022 default. You cannot install, right? So where is the question of connecting again here? You install 2016 default instance. Now if once you install default instance, now you cannot install any other version default instance. Then where is the question of connecting? If you are not at all installing, if there is no two Munis in the class, what is the problem? Only one Muni will connect with only one Muni.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yeah. Guys, we got 18 answers out of 26. Remaining all are sleeping or what? If you are sleeping, just answer and you can go back to sleep, no issues. Only 18 answers. Okay. Chalo, let me check. Everyone said no. Monica, yes. Krista, yes. Rename Mohan Ras. Avinash, no. Big no. Suhaib, yes. Rename option. Imtiaz, yes. Ravikaran, no. Krista, yes. Supraja, yes. Monica, I think no. Mahidar, yes. Yes, we can change. Chaitra, yes. Sandeep Patnaik, no. Yes. Okay. Right. So the answer is Okay, so we'll go back to the break and again we'll be back, guys, then we'll discuss. Okay, right? So take a break, come back after 9 o'clock at 9 o'clock. Okay, now it is 8:46, right? So come back at 9 o'clock after 15 minutes exactly, and then we'll discuss the installation, guys. We'll complete the installation now, and again in the evening session, I'll show you, okay, 2019 installation. Nothing, no hurry. I'm like, we'll go with this speed only, don't worry. And Swati, why specifically 2016? I saw your question, you asked about 2016 installation. Why you
Like most of the real time, like what we are using is either 2016 and later it's been upgraded 2020. So it will be better like if you go somewhere like the old legacy systems. So I was thinking not the previous version. If you go some 4 to 5 years version, whether the installation
do one
differs
thing,
or
I'll give you one thing, okay? I'll give you 2016. We don't have 2016 copy now, and
okay.
And another challenge is 2016 developer edition is not free. From 2017 onwards it's free, okay? So we
Okay.
cannot even download also 2016, but again I promise everything will be same as it is as 2017 2019. If you have a chance, I'll give you one assignment for you. Download 2016 evaluation edition, okay? And then
Okay.
let me know once you downloaded 2016 evaluation edition, let me know why. Because edition, even though the edition is different, controls are same, okay? So you can see same options. Just let me know once you download it, let me know, I'll show you how to install 2016 installation. Okay,
Okay, sure.
yeah. Okay guys, come back at 9 o'clock, we'll discuss further. Yeah, thank you, I'll be in mute.
You can install on.
Yeah, 2017 happily you can install on Windows 2012.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is okay.
Yeah, it is okay. Okay, chalo, any questions till now, guys? So what is the answer? What is the answer? Yes or no?
Yes.
What is the question? First of all, I forgot that question. What is that question?
Okay.
What is that question, guys?
Or we can change instant name.
Instance name. Very good.
After installing.
Very good. Okay. So the answer is technically no. Okay. No, we cannot change the instance name. Okay. So I just installed SQL Server. For example, I'll tell you.
Shanmu, I
Yes,
have
yes,
a doubt.
yes, please.
For 2012 also we should pay, no?
For 2012 developer edition you have to pay. 2012
Why
developer
you
edition you have
use
to
it
pay.
that?
Sorry, why you are using 2012? Huh? That is your question. Why you are using 2012? Right,
Yes.
Monica?
We have to pay, no? After 2017 we can use that freely.
Yeah, we can use it. That's what I'm saying. See, it depends upon. It's actually a good question, Monica. So why you are using in our practice or why we are using in the organization? That is your question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you, I told you right earlier also, I told you why we are using specific version means due to compatibility. Your application, I told you we will have internal applications, external applications. If your application is compatible with only Windows 2012, what you have to do? You have to pay money, right? Got the point? If your
Yeah.
application is
Yes.
compatible with only Windows 2012, of course you have to pay money. If your application is compatible with 2017, then you can change it to 2017. Okay. It depends upon the application compatibility. There is no mandatory that you have to use 2012 or you have to use 2017. Depends upon the application requirements only. We'll choose the versions. Okay. So if your application is not generating any revenue, then you can go for this free versions, no issues. But it's not like non-prod free version, production a different version. It's not like that. Okay. Prod and non-prod, everything will be on the same environment. Okay. You cannot keep non-prod applications, non-prod servers and prod servers with different versions. So prod and non-prod will go with the same versions maximum. Okay, so we'll make sure that prod and non-prod with the same versions. So that's why if production is not supporting 2012 and all, or else if production is supporting 2012 only, it is not supporting 2017, then we'll go with the 2012 only, even though it is a paid version, licensed version. Clear, Monica?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Guys, okay, so we cannot change. See, technically we cannot change the instance name. There is an answer, I'll tell you. Let me tell you. So I want to change this B48 SQL Server. Okay, I cannot change this. I cannot change this. But we have an option. Default instance, generally it will take the computer name, right? Generally it will take the computer name, right? So what is my computer name, guys? Can anyone tell me how to find the computer name? In the command prompt you have to type host name, right? In the command prompt you have to type host name. This is my computer name, right? So default instance you cannot change the computer name. So this is the computer name and all. Server name, instance name I want to say. So imagine if Windows team is changing the server name from their side, if Windows team is changing the server name from their side, then we can change the SQL server name. Here, if the instance is named instance, you cannot change the instance name after installation, that's for sure. If the instance is named instance, we cannot change the instance name after SQL Server installation. If it is default instance, if Windows team changed the server name, then we can change the server name. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? If
Yes,
Windows team
Yes,
is
sir.
changing the machine name, then from SQL Server side it won't be changed automatically. We have to drop the old server. We have to add the new server. For that there are some queries: sp underscore drop server, server name, old server, sp underscore add server, server name, new server name, comma local you have to give. So if Windows team is changing the computer name, then we can change the SQL Server name. If Windows team is not changing computer name, and if you are trying to change the instance name, then you cannot change the instance name. Is it clear? Especially for named instance, after installation you cannot change it, guys. This is the answer. So both the answers are correct. Yes, if the Windows machine name is changed, we can change the instance name. No, if it is a named instance name you cannot change it. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I have one more quick question, guys. Can I change the default instance to named instance? The same one. Can I change the default instance to named instance? The existing one only. Can I change it to default to named after installation?
no, sir.
No, not possible. Okay, strictly not possible. If it is default means default only. If it is named means named only. You cannot change named to default to named, guys. Right? If you choose default instance, generally the instance name will be MS SQL Server. What is this instance ID? You might have this doubt. What is this instance ID? So this instance ID means it will create folders with this name. if you install the default instance, automatically you can see instance ID. So if you choose named instance, see here I am giving B48 SQL Server. Okay, so if I click here, the name will be changed to B48 SQL Server. See here, what it will do in the see here in this particular path, see C program file SQL Server, see how it is creating a path folder. Let me open the path also. C drive, program files, SQL, Microsoft SQL Service folder created. So here, when I click next, it will create a folder like this, MSSQL.16, MSSQL16.B48 SQL Server. It will create a folder here. When I click next, it will create a folder. Okay, so instance ID means with this name, it will create a folder in the C program files. If you choose default instance, by default MS SQL Server. See here, MS SQL 16 means 2022 dot MS SQL Server. It will create a folder with MS SQL Server, guys. That's it. Instance ID means in the C drive program files Microsoft SQL Server, in this location it will create a folder with the particular name. If it is default instance, it will create with MS SQL Server. If it is named instance, whatever name you give, with that name it will create a folder in this location. Clear, guys? Instance ID, what is meant by instance ID? Is it clear? Instance name and ID, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
It will create a folder. Instance ID means it will create a folder with instance name, that is called instance ID. Let me go to next. If any instances installed, you can see in this section. Currently this table is blank, nothing, no instances are installed in this section. See, installed instances, nothing is there, right? Later if I am installing next instance, after this, if I am trying to install SQL 2019, I can see SQL 2022 installation that we are installing now. You can see in the list next time. Chalo, very important. These two are very important. Listen carefully. Very simple terminologies. Very, very simple. So what is the use of the SQL Server again? What is the use of the SQL Server?
Store the data, process the data, retrieve the data.
As discussed.
Yes.
Right. Who will do all these things? Who will store the data? Who will process the data? Who will retrieve the data?
SQL Server will do this.
Very good. SQL Server will do. Very good. SQL Server will do. Listen carefully. SQL Server is a software, right? If
Yes,
SQL Server is running means directly SQL Server cannot run on behalf of SQL Server. One SQL Server service will run. Listen carefully. If you install any software, that software won't run on behalf of that software. One service will run. See, I installed Zoom. On behalf of Zoom, one service is running. See here, Zoom service. What is the exe file? These are the exe files that are running in my local laptop. If you install any software, that software won't run on behalf of that software. One service will run. If that service is running, that software will run. Clear? Is it clear till now? Clear, guys? Any doubts here, please?
Yes, it's clear.
Fine. So if SQL Server service is running in the back end, then only SQL Server will run. So your SQL Server service will store the data, process the data, retrieve the data. Storing means you have to keep it in one drive, right? Store means it has to return to one disk, right? Right? Retrieving means you are reading, means it has to retrieve from the disk. Store means it has to write to the disk. Retrieve means it has to read from the disk. Is it clear? Storing and retrieving, right? Store means when we can store, when we can write the data to the disk, then only we can store. When we can retrieve, when we are reading data from the disk, then only we can retrieve. So imagine my files are there in this drive. Okay, where is the server? Imagine in this server, my files are there in this particular C drive. So who has to, I want to write data to the C drive, right? I am writing data to the C drive. Who can write data to the C drive? Who can enter inside the C drive? Who can enter inside the C drive to write the data?
Shanmukh sir, your
Yes,
voice
please.
is fluctuating.
Fluctuating. 1 minute. 1 minute. Right. Now is it clear? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir, it's normal.
Okay, done. So now you want to write the data to the disk, right? C is a disk, right? C drive is a disk. So someone has to enter inside the C drive and they have to write the data, right? Is it clear, guys? Everyone, just let me know why, because service account will be confused here. That's why I'm explaining point to point.
Clear.
I'm going to write the data to the C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Here I am going to write the data. Who is going to write the data on behalf of SQL Server? Service account will write the data, guys. Service account will write the data. Service account will read the data from the disk to the disk. Service account will read the data from the disk. Service account will write the data to the disk. So if I want to enter inside this folder, I should have permissions, right? I should have permissions. To which account I have to give permissions? Service cannot enter inside the folders. On behalf of service, one maid will be there, one user will be there, one account will be there. That account will log into this path and it will start writing the data to this path and it will start reading the data from this path. Who will do all these things? Who will do reading data, writing data? Who will do all these things?
Service account.
Your service account will do. Listen carefully. Again I'll tell you. Any software, if you are installing that software, means that software won't run. On behalf of that software, one service will run. This service duty is it has to store the data, process the data and retrieve the data, right? So it has to enter inside the drive, it has to enter inside the folders. So service cannot enter inside the folders and all. I cannot give access to service. Hey, service, go to that folder, go to this path, write the data. Service cannot do that. On behalf of the service, one account will be there. You can say it is a user. One user will be there, one maid will be there. One maid means, you know, right, worker. One maid will be there. This maid will enter inside the folders and it will write the data, read the data. That maid is called, that worker is called service account. So I have to give access to the service account. then only the service account can read the data, and then only your SQL server can access the data, then only your SQL server will process the data. Clear? Any questions here? What is meant by service account? Service account is an account which will help you to run the service on behalf of SQL server. Your service account will read the data, will process the data, and will retrieve the data. Okay, so that is called your service account. Means to help this SQL server service, it just deployed one worker. That worker name is service account. Any questions, guys, please? Here, service account. What is service account?
No, sir. Clear,
Again,
sir.
no one will ask you what is service account in the organization. Okay, as an experienced guy, they don't ask you what is service account. If still they are asking, means they got a doubt on you. They are asking, means service account is an account which will help you to run the service on behalf of SQL server. Service account will read the data, write the data to the disk. Guys, please, any questions here? If no questions, means we can
No,
proceed
perfect,
further.
sir.
Okay, say for example, now in service accounts we have default service accounts, virtual service accounts, customized service accounts. Say for example, why I'll go for service account, customized service account. Default service accounts means by default every service, in every Windows machine will have three workers, three maids, we can say: local system, local service, network service. Okay, so now go to your local laptop services.msc. There you can see how many services are running, not only related to SQL server. For all the services that are running in the laptop, you can see these are all service. If your laptop is working properly, means, see, now I am using how many applications? Zoom I am using one application, remote desktop one application, Google Chrome one application, Notepad one application, Oracle VirtualBox one application, CPU one application, Task Manager one application, right? On behalf of all these applications, services will run in the back end. Then only Zoom is working, then only RDP is working, then only your VirtualBox is working, then only your VM is working. See how many services are running. See, you can see the last column, log on as. In these services, your SQL Server service is also one part. See here, these are all SQL Server services. Lot of services, all these services are running. That's why your system is running, guys. There are some back-end services, internal services, application related services, anything that can be. All the services are running. See, remote desktop services. See, as these services are up and running, then only I am able to use this service, RDP service. Okay, so for every service, generally in the Windows architecture, on behalf of software, service will run, then only the software will work. If you installed an antivirus, on behalf of antivirus, Avesta antivirus, okay, one service will run in the backend, then only your Avesta antivirus will work, guys. If you still have any confusion in the service account, I'll give you one example. What is your Avesta, like what is your antivirus will do generally? What antivirus will do? What is the responsibilities of antivirus? It has to scan, correct, it has to scan the data first, right? It will, whatever drives are there, first it will go to the drives, each and every drive, it will go to the drive and it will enter inside the drive, and it is going to scan the drives, and then it is going to scan all the folders, right? What it will do after scanning? It will check every file, extensions will be there. Okay, so for example, Avesta antivirus will maintain separate database, guys. Avesta antivirus will maintain separate database. So in this database, it will have some extensions, .vll, .eme, okay, xem, what is that? There is a shortcut. What is the shortcut we can see in the virus? Some shortcuts will be there, guys. Shortcut, something will be there. You can see generally. You can see with folder names and all shortcuts will be there. Imagine these three are virus files. What your antivirus will do? It will go to each folder. It will check every file whether .exe is equal to .vll or not. .exe file it just found. .exe is equal to .vll. No. So .exe is not a virus file. .exe is equal to .xm. .exe is equal to .shortcut. So if the files are not matching, it will treat it as a normal file. If files are matching, okay, now it is scanning .vll file. So .vll is equal to okay, this file is a virus file. Then it will mark it as a virus. Once it scans all the drives, all the folders, what it will do, guys? It will generate a report. It will ask you, hey, we found 10 files, affected files. Do you want me to delete? What you will do? You will select the delete option. Once you choose delete option, what it will do? What it will do, guys? It will delete the files, right? What is that delete operation called? Write operation. Write operation. Who will do that? Who will delete? Who will read the data? Scanning means reading all the files. Deleting means writing. Who will do? Who will read? Who will write? Your service account. Avesta antivirus will have a service account. That service account generally will do all these things. That service account. See here, Avesta antivirus. Who is the service account? Local system. So who will do? Who will read it and who will delete it? Local system will log into each and every folder. It will scan all the files. It will read. Local system is worker to the Avesta antivirus. Got it, guys? Service account. So on behalf of service, one service will do all these things. That account is called service account. Clear? Every service will have service accounts. Generally, we don't choose while installing SQL Server. We don't no. While installing Avesta antivirus or some other Zoom application, you don't choose service account. Then they are working without service accounts? No. By default, Windows will allocate one service account after installation or during installation. These are default service accounts. If you don't allocate anything, Windows machine will allocate these default service accounts to the service. Clear, guys? What is service account? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is your service account discussion, and here next is collation. See, I am going to install SQL Server with a virtual service accounts. Okay, virtual service accounts means the accounts that will be created during installation. Either you can choose local system or you can choose your custom. See, now I have a question, guys. See, now I have a question. Now I am staying in one PG. Okay, I am staying in one PG, guys. Okay, not PG. I am staying in a separate room. I am only one. I am staying in a separate room. So I have one maid. Daily she will come, she will clean everything and she will go. It will take 30 minutes for her. Now one more person joined with me. Another person joined with me. Second person. So now she has to clean both of our utensils and whatever things are there, cloths and all, she has to wash it, she has to clean. So it might take 45 minutes. Earlier I am the only one person, so she is taking 30 minutes to complete the work. Now 2 persons are there, 45 minutes she used to take to complete the work. Now 3 people are there, right? How much time she will take? The time will increase, right? If people are increasing, time also to complete the work also will increase, right? Agreed or not? So in the same way, lot of services are there. See how many services are there in my laptop. But how many workers are there? Only 3 workers. Local system, local service, network service. These many services are taken care by these 3 service accounts. Definitely I'll expect a performance issue, right? Why? Because I have to wait till my turn comes. So what I'll do, chalo, I don't want to use these 3 service accounts. I'll create a separate account for my own. Means I decided, okay, because of these 3 people, my things are getting late. So I'm like, what happened is, like, she is coming morning, right? So she is not cooking in time. So the lunchbox is late for me for my office. So I decided, okay, I'll recruit a separate maid only for me. That maid is service account. So she will take care of only my things. That separate account is called customized service account. I am going to create a separate account only for my SQL Server. So that service account will take care of my SQL Server responsibilities only. Don't touch other services and all. That is called customized service account. I'll recruit a separate maid. I'll create a separate account for my SQL Server activities. That is called customized SQL Server service account. So here either you can give default service accounts. What is the problem if you give default service accounts? Performance issues will be there. So I'll give separate service account, so no issues will be there. Okay, guys, this is your customized service account. So now my question is, can I change the service account after installation? Now I am using this service account, guys. Can I change it after installation?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no, guys?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
change the service account? Can I change my maid at any time?
Yes, sir.
Guys, everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We
Yes,
can
we can,
change,
sir.
right?
Yes,
If she
we
is
can.
not working properly, I can change her, right? So
Yes, sir.
definitely I can change my service account at any point of time. Now I am using a virtual service accounts that will be given by your SQL Server installation. But later I don't want this due to security reasons. I'll go for a specific separate account. I can change the service account later also. Now I am installing SQL Server with a virtual service accounts. Later I'll show you how to change the service account. You should know, right? So later I'll show you how to change the service account. So after the installation and all, I'll show you how to change the service account, right? So as of now, this is your service accounts for 4 services. Password no need to give in case if you are giving some, in case if you are giving if you are giving a specific service account, you have to give password. But for shared service accounts and all, no need to give passwords. Startup type I'll explain later, right? Startup type means generally when you install SQL Server, these services will be created, right? So what is this type of service? Whether if you choose startup type as automatic, when you restart Windows Server, automatically these services also will be restarted with Windows Server. Sir, what if I choose manual? If you choose manual, when you restart the Windows Server, manually you have to start all the services. It is a headache, right? Again and again, sometimes automatically servers will be rebooted during patching and all. So who will go and check? Who will check that every service manual or automatic? If you set it as automatic, when you restart the Windows Server, these services also will be restarted automatically. Again, it will be back. No need to start manually. That is called your startup types. Collation settings means simple, guys, language settings. Collation means language settings. Guys, it will take 15 more minutes. Please bear with me. So I cannot break the session right during installation. Collation setting means language settings, guys. So by default, these are the collation settings. SQL, Latin 1, general. CP1 means code page 1. CI means case insensitive. AS means accent sensitive. These are the default collation settings, language settings. I want to change. I want to change it to some Chinese language. Customize. Select this option. Select whatever language you want. Chinese language, Czech language, French language. Okay. Latin language. Okay, you can see different languages. Thai language. Okay. So unfortunately, no Indian language is there. Okay. So you have to choose English language and all. I'm not going to change these things, so I'll keep it as it is. 90% will use the same collation settings. They will ask you in the interview, what is the collation settings? What are the general collation settings? If you are keep installing multiple times, you can easily remember this. SQL, Latin 1, general, CP1, CIAS. Code page 1 means language space. Case insensitive, any case you can enter that. Means once the server is created, you are going to enter the data inside the databases, right? That data, whether it is case sensitive or case insensitive, so you can choose. If you want to, if you choose case insensitive, lowercase uppercase data will be accepted. If you choose only case sensitive, then either lowercase or uppercase only will be acceptable. Okay, accent sensitive and all. These are default collation settings. I am not changing here. I'll go to next, guys. Chalo?
Shanmugh, can you please repeat that
Collation,
abbreviations? Yeah.
Collation. Yeah.
No, the abbreviations for CP1 and AS.
CP1 code page 1, AS accent sensitive, CI case insensitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So let me go to next. Yes, this is the another screen. This is the main screen, guys. After this installation will be completed, you can see 5 tabs are there. These tabs are very important. So authentication, there is a separate section. We have a security classes. During security discussion, I'll tell you what is authentication, how many types of authentications are there, what is the use of this authentication and all. During the security discussion, I'll tell you. We have 3-4 classes on security. We'll discuss. As of now, we have 2 authentication modes, Windows mode and mixed mode. If you choose Windows authentication, it don't ask you the password. It don't ask you any password. I'll tell you how it will work. Why it don't ask password? Then if it is not asking password, everyone can log into my SQL server or what? So you will get a lot of questions, but these questions will be discussed during security discussion. But can we change the authentication mode after installation? I am installing with Windows authentication mode. Now can we change it to mixed mode after installation? The answer is yes. We can change it at any point of time. Okay. In the organization, which mode will use? Mixed mode will use in the organization. But you should know, right, how to change the authentication. So I'll install with Windows authentication now. Later I'll show you how to change the authentication mode. Thank you. Later I'll change the authentication mode, guys. Okay. Chalo, leave it. Don't worry about this. There is a separate session. I'll tell you. Now you have to add people here. Once the installation is done, you have to add those who can connect the SQL server. Not everyone I can give access, right? If I'm giving access to everyone can see your salary, which is very sensitive data. Everyone can see your credit card information, very sensitive data. How can I give access to everyone? No, I'll restrict the access to specific people. To whom I have to give access, I can add here. Click on add current user. Who is installing SQL Server? Who is installing SQL Server? Who is installing SQL Server?
Administrator, sir.
I logged in as administrator account. If you logged in as Suresh account, Suresh is installing SQL Server. If you logged in as Muni account, Muni is installing SQL Server. If you logged in as some other account, that person is installing SQL Server. So if you see here, administrator is installing SQL Server, right? So when I click add current user, see here, computer name / administrator account is added. Means as of now, only this person can connect to SQL Server. I have to add at least one person here. Otherwise, you cannot proceed further. What this person will do, he can connect to SQL Server. Later, he can give access to others, right? Got the point? Once he is able to enter inside the SQL Server, later he can give access to other people and all those who needs access. Later, this guy can give access to others. So at least one account you have to add it here. In the organization, we are going to add administrator, or we don't add administrator, sorry. In the organization, generally you will log in with your name, right? So you will add your DBA team. This installation is not only for you, this installation for the whole team. Whole team members has to access the SQL Server. So I'll add the whole team here. I have to click on this add button. I have to give the team name Sql DBS, something like the team name will be there. Check names, and if you click add, automatically it will be added. So apart from you, those who are there in the whole Sql DBA group, they can connect to the SQL Server. I'll explain what is this group policies and all I'll explain. So in this screen, generally in the organization, what we will do, guys, we are going to add the whole Sql DBA. You have to check with your colleague what is our DBA group name. They will give you DBA group name. Then you have to add that group here so that everyone in that group, the DBA group, can access the SQL Server. Is it clear, guys? Everyone, any questions here, please?
1 second, repeat in this one.
Sorry, 1 second.
Repeat.
See, whoever mentioned here, those people only can connect to SQL Server. Very simple. We cannot give fruits and vegetables. Okay, so who can access the SQL Server? I have to add here. If I don't add here, I cannot proceed further. Okay, if I am going to next, it will throw you an error. Missing system administrator account to continue provide at least one Windows account provision as a SQL Server system administrator. Here you have to add at least one account. Once you added this account, you can connect to the SQL Server using this account. Later you can give access to others. Those who need access, later you can give access to others so that they can connect to SQL Server. In the organization, what we will do, we'll add the whole SQL DBA group so that the whole SQL DBA group can connect to this recently installed SQL Server, the newly installed SQL Server. Got it, guys? Got it? Is it clear? Guys, any questions here, please? Guys, any questions here? Guys, can you hear me? I'm sorry, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, done. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so at least one person you have to add it here, guys. At least one person you have to add it here. Like only these people can connect to my SQL server. Later these people can give access to others. In the organization generally will add the whole DBA team so that the whole DBA team can connect to the newly installed SQL server. Based on the requirements, they will give access to other users. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Still having any doubts?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, done. So data directories, as of now, I am going to install
Hello.
everything in. Yes, please. Yes, any questions? Okay, data directories, generally we will install data files in a separate location, log files in a separate location. I'll tell you what is data file, log file, nothing to worry. After installation, I'll show you. Backups in a separate location and all, but here we have only C drive, right? So I'm keeping everything in the C drive only. I'm not going to change anything, but we can change it. Later I'll show you during cluster installation. I'll create separate drives. There I'll show you how to install. Okay, you have to simply, I want to save this data files in a E drive, change it to E drive. That's it. I want to change these files in L drive, change it to L drive. That's it. I want to change all the, I want to store all the backup files in X drive, change it to X drive. That's it. Nothing changes here. Only you have to add the drive letters. That's it. As of now we have only C drive, right? So I'm keeping everything in C drive only, so we don't have other drives and all. Chalo, tempdb, there is a separate discussion on tempdb. What is this tempdb? We have system databases, master, model, msdb, tempdb, resource database. So during the system database discussion, I'll tell you tempdb, best practices with the tempdb. So generally tempdb is a temporary database which will help you to process the data. All the data processing will be done in tempdb. So tempdb should be good. Okay, so that's why you have to configure tempdb separately. So that's why they gave separate tab for tempdb. So as of now, if you want to store these tempdb files in separate drive, you can remove the old path, you can add the new path, and you can store it. Generally, the organization will maintain a separate drive for tempdb. Why? Because tempdb should be good. You should have enough free space to process the terabytes of data. So we'll create separate drive and we'll keep it the tempdb. We'll keep the tempdb files in separate drive. As of now, you forget about this. During tempdb discussion, you will get to know. If you want to change the path of tempdb, you can change the path by removing old path, by adding new path. You can change the path. That's it. But again, don't worry, guys. I am not skipping anything. During the discussions, you will came to know one by one. Okay, during the topic discussions, you will came to know one by one. Maxed up and memory settings are configuration level settings. Maxed up, what is maxed up? During performance tuning we'll discuss. As of now, you can leave it as it is. Memory settings during performance tuning we'll discuss. As of now, we'll leave it as it is. You can install with the default values, no issues. Later also we can change these values. I'll show you how to change it. File stream is one feature which will help you to store the video content data like Amazon Prime, AHA, Netflix. For video content data, blob data, binary large objects data, to store large objects data and all, we'll use file stream feature. Generally we are not going to store any video content data and all, right? So like YouTube and all, so we are going to skip this file stream. We are not going to use only these options. Any questions here in all these 5 tabs, guys? Please, we'll proceed next and then installation will be done, guys. That's it. Installation is discussed, but again, don't worry, I'll show you 2019 also. If you have any questions there also, you can ask. No problem at all. I'm not completing the topic. Okay, I'm just discussing. So if you still have any questions, you can ask now or during 2019 installation. In the evening session, I'll show you 2019 installation. There also you can ask if you have any questions. As of now, is it clear? I can install SQL Server in 2 minutes, guys. If you don't know these options, what it will do, then it's difficult, right? So that's why even though we took 2.5 hours, you should know all the points, what it will do and all. Chalo, can I proceed, guys? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, done. Let me go to next. The evening session, I'll show you 2019. That's it, guys. See, now what will happen, I'll tell you. Whatever features we have selected, whatever options we have selected, whatever settings we have selected, whatever configurations we have selected, what SQL Server will do, what Windows Server will do, it will create a command, it will create a query, it will create a script That script will be stored in this configuration file.ini. When I click install, Windows Server will pull this file. Okay, where it is located? See program files, Microsoft SQL Server, setup bootstrap. I can open this path. Control C, Windows R, Control V, enter. See here configuration file.ini. In this file, all the values are configured. Whatever selections we did, right, we selected C drive path and all, we gave instance name and all, we gave service accounts, we selected automatic or manual service account types and all. Okay, we have added user account, everything. Now you can see, right, whatever inputs we have selected. Okay, whatever inputs we have selected, see here, developer edition, install, action is equal to install, it is going to install now. Prerequisite, it's already installed. Windows PowerShell is already installed. C++ distributables also already installed. General features, I have selected these features. I gave instance name like this. I gave shared features. Product updates, we haven't enabled. MU means Microsoft updates. MU, Microsoft updates. Instance configuration, I gave service account details. I selected startup type. Database engine features, this is for agent service, this is for database engine service, this is for directory, this is for TempDB. TempDB, what values we gave. TempDB files location, memory, what values we gave. Max stop, what value we gave. Max degree of parallelism. All these things, it will prepare a query and it will keep it inside this file. Which file? Configuration.file, configuration file.ini. This file, when I click install, this file will be called inside the command prompt and it will start installing SQL Server. Now done, chalo, it was started. Installation is started, guys. Now this file will be called in the command prompt and then based on the file inputs, it will start installing one by one, what features we have selected, what options we have selected, what settings we have selected. It will start installing one by one, guys. That's it. You can wait and watch the installation. It will take 10 to 15 minutes or else it will be recorded and it will be available in 1 hour. Okay, there also you can check it. If you are free, screen will be shared, I will be there, you can watch it. Okay, if you have some work and all, you can disconnect for now and the same recording will be available in 1.5 hours. Okay, in our channel under batch 48 playlist. If you have any questions, write down all your questions, will be discussed in the evening session, no problem at all. Is it clear, guys? In the evening I will show you how to install SQL Server very simple way. Okay, very simple way. But you have to know all these things. Now you are comfortable with some of the options, right? So in the evening, next install, that's it. If you remember correctly, I didn't change anything. Next installed. I just explained each and every option. So we can install SQL Server next install. But if you don't know what option will do, what this option will do, what that setting will do, so it's difficult, right? So that's why we discussed everything. Chalo, any questions, guys, please? Any questions here?
Shanmugh sir.
Yes, please.
This 2000 you are sharing
This
to my mail.
See, I'll tell you guys almost 10 videos like that. It will be shared in our YouTube channel. Okay, under batch 48 playlist. At one point, I'll stop sharing I'll stop uploading in YouTube. From that point onwards, you will get access to the Gmail, to your Gmail. Okay, until then, until I'm uploading videos to the YouTube playlist, you have to access videos from YouTube playlist. At one point, I'll start uploading videos in the YouTube playlist. From that point onwards, I'll give access directly to your Gmail. From your Google Drive, you can access those videos.
Yeah, Shanmugh, I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, for practicing purpose, in my laptop, I have installed the Windows Server 2012, which you provided, right?
Okay, yes.
So SQL Server you provided on 2019.
2017 also I provided.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can proceed with 2017.
Happily you can proceed. And tell me if any differences are there. You just proceed with 2017. Tell me if you see any differences in the installation. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Done.
Yeah, actually, I have installed 2019 in my
laptop
local
you can
machine.
Install. Yes. Laptop with Windows 10.
Windows 10, yeah.
Windows 10 you can install 2019. No issues.
But after that, can it is for difficult for when it is HADR concept, it is quite
Correct,
difficult
correct,
to
correct.
maintain
Yes,
versions.
yes. That's why we
So we
have
can
to.
proceed with this. The
That's
same version. So you have to install this.
See, that's why we'll create 3 VMs for HADR practice and all. We'll create 3 VMs and then we'll do our practice on 3 different VMs as per real-time setup.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you install 2019 in the local laptop also, as of now you can proceed, no issues. You can
Yeah.
practice whatever you want, you can practice it, but you don't feel it is a real-time environment.
Okay.
Yeah, that for that purpose I created a Windows server. I gave remote access and then connected to server remotely, and then I'm start installing all these things like a real-time setup.
Thank you. I'm
Okay.
leaving it.
Okay, Sandeep. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, as per how we install the command prompt, sir, only any single command we need to provide all these details, sir.
All these details you have to provide, sir. What single command? Install SQL Server. You'll write install SQL Server 2022. That's it, huh? No, whatever we selected till now, all the details you have to provide in a command so that it will take all the details from the command and it will start installing. If you want to know how to install using command prompt, go to our channel. Our playlist is there, SQL Server installation, or simply go to our playlist, simply type command prompt installation in our channel YouTube. One minute. Oh my god, what is this? Why I'm not getting this one? 1 minute. I'm searching Sql DBA classes. Right, okay, so this is our channel and go to playlists. Generally you can check it from this playlist, guys. Network is slow, right? So you can check our batch 48 playlist. Okay, so now the video will be uploaded to this playlist. And second thing is, like, if you want to search anything, okay, SQL Server command prompt installation, command prompt installation, just search like this. Okay, see here, how to install SQL 2017-2019 using command prompt. Okay, Telugu classes also there, SQL Server installation using command prompt. So you can see here, these are all our classes only. How to patch SQL, these things are different. How to patch it using command prompt, how to install 2018 using command prompt, 2008 using command prompt. So we can see different videos are there. Okay, you can use these options. Okay, if you want to know how to install SQL Server using command prompt, you can use these options. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are almost done, guys. One thing you have to remember, that here, once the installation is done, you have to check whether all the components are successfully installed or not. How we can check it, I'll show you now. You will get a success screen. There you can see if all the components are successfully installed. You can see a green check mark, okay, for each component. So in that way we can confirm all the components are successfully installed or not. Just a minute, it is going to Load now.
So I have a question.
Yes, please. Yes.
So we currently we are proceeding with the default instance or named instance in this installation process.
Which virtual machine?
I mean, which the software which you are installing now, sir. So we are proceeded with the default instance or named one.
Same Windows 2022 with Sql 2022. That's what you're asking? I didn't get your question.
Sir, I mean,
See, your voice is
the software which you are installing. We have choose the default one, sir.
And now I choose the default instance.
Okay, sir.
Default
so one more thing. So
tell me.
Default. So after completion of installation, suppose we need to add additional features like reporting services or integration services.
Yes.
We need to start from step one, sir.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, now you can see all the components are successfully installed and you will get a success message, install successful. Okay, so these two importance you have to cross check. In case if you face any issues, anything is failed to install, see here, one file is generated called summary.txt file. Summary, server name, date and time, and .txt file. If you open this, you will came to know in case if any errors are there. If it is showing passed means your installation is succeeded. If it is failed means you have to check what is the problem, where it was failed, what is the errors logged inside this particular notepad. Okay, so this is how you have to cross check the installation related errors. This file later also you can access. If you go to this path, see program files, Microsoft SQL Server 160, setup, bootstrap, log and date and time. Okay, if you go to this path also, there also you can check it, cross check it. Okay, so the log summary.txt file. So in case if anyone is asking in the interview, if anyone is asking while installing, did you get any errors? Okay, so if you got the errors, where you checked it. So the first source is your summary.txt file. In this source you have to check the logs and all, why it was failed and all. I'll show you in the evening class. Okay, I'll open the summary.txt file and I'll show you. Done. So in this way you have to cross check whether all components are successfully installed or not. Chalo, close it. Okay, so that's it guys. So remaining will be discussed in the evening session. So I'll show you 2019 installation again. If you have any questions you can ask, and then we'll proceed internally. Okay, what things will be after installation, what other things we have to install like SSMS and all, that will be discussed, and then we'll proceed guys. Okay, chalo, fine. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, you just ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay, this video will be available at 11:30 or 12 o'clock. Okay, chalo. Thank you guys. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.